What's up, yo? Big Cat 305 here. Today we're making a loaded omelet, updated version on the Blackstone. Let's go. For the first 5 years of my YouTube channel, I focused on making easy recipes that taste great, but I never considered if they were great for you. That being so, I have all these old recipes that need some tweaking, like an update. Think computer update. When your computer starts running slow and sluggish, you get an update and it runs much smoother and more efficiently. My goal now is to update these recipes so they not only taste great, but they're great for you. Let's start the update. What's up, yo? Big Cat 305 here. Today we are making a loaded omelet. We're gonna have some bacon, some sausage, some tomatoes, some onions, 3 different kinds of cheese, and we're gonna load this sucker up with some flavor and spices, and it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. So we start off with the bacon. Boom, look at that sizzle. Next up is our Jimmy Dean's breakfast sausage. I broke out my old chopper to chop this up. And we put our onions down. There we are. Tomatoes down. I'm basically making like a football field. Those are your fans on each side. And in the middle there, that's where the gridiron is. Hey, look at that gridiron, like that. Putting them on slow. And you kind of want to make like a rectangle. That's kind of the goal here. Start off with some Kobe Jack. Nice amount there in the middle. Right here is some provolone. 2 slices. Some chunks of cheddar cheese. Oh yeah. So here we go. We got some sausage, cracked pepper, bacon on top of that. Onions next. This thing is becoming a mountain. And then our tomatoes on top of that. Boom. Uh-oh. Break it apart. Houston, we have a problem. And we flip that sucker. That thing is huge. Whoo-wee! Oh yeah. This thing is a beast. All right, updated version ingredients. Some Jenny O Italian style fresh turkey sausage, uncured applewood bacon, cage-free brown eggs, some mozzarella cheese, which is low moisture part skim, yellow onion, and 3 Roma tomatoes. Starting off with the Roma tomatoes, I chose these because they're not as moist, they don't get as wet, so they won't make your omelet soggy. So you just want to cut them up into real small pieces. Next up is a yellow onion. I only used half of it, and you just want to, same thing as the tomatoes, kind of dice it pretty small. And then put these together on a paper plate for later on. And then for the uncured bacon, I was going to use 3 strips, but they were frozen and the 4th one stuck on, so hey, it's bacon. So you just want to cut these up into small little chunks. Turkey sausage, I just slice this in half, just put it on a plate with the bacon for later on. And for the egg. So from the last video, I learned that I did not have enough eggs for that amount of ingredients, so I decided to go up to 6. Here, taking out the egg whites, here's my little trick. You break it in half, and then you go back and forth, moving the yolk back and forth from the half shells, and that gets out all of the white, and then you just throw away the yolk and move on. I'll do the next 3 fast for you. I also suggest putting down a paper towel while you do this. That way you don't get egg all over the place. It really helps. And then the last 2, we're just going to use the yolks in those, so just break them like regular eggs. So total 4 egg whites, total 2 with the yolks. And then you want to put in a little bit of milk, I'd say about a tablespoon, and then your salt, pepper, and garlic. I highly suggest getting one of these shakers and pre-mixing. Here's what I use. 4 parts kosher salt, 2 parts granulated garlic, 1 part coarse black pepper. And then we whisk our eggs. You want to make sure you really whisk them good because that's going to help them become nice and fluffy and stay together when you want to build that loaded omelet. All right, Blackstone is preheated about 350, and we already have our bacon down, and I just put down the turkey sausage. You just want to chop this up real good. I'll go fast here for you. I'm using my old school chopper. Probably saw it on the original video. So chop it up real good, and then you're gonna have to separate this bacon here. I mean, other than taking the pieces out and then cooking them and then chopping them, I just find this is the easy way. Just take your time with it and go through. It's kind of the fun part anyway. Hey, it's me again. Don't forget, at the end of this video, I'm going to compare the nutritional value of the new updated recipe versus the old recipe. All right, continuing on. So we're going to turn that sausage, let it brown up basically. And just kind of like make sure it's all broken up. You don't want any giant clumps. Actually, you kind of want them small. Because when you build that omelet, you don't want big giant chunks. That's going to give you a hard time. So bacon's looking good here. Flip that around as well. Again, like a medium heat, 350 is good. Definitely want to go too hot with the breakfast, especially with an omelet like this, with the eggs part anyway. So again, continue breaking those things up. You do not want to leave them in giant clumps and then they're raw in the middle and toasty on the outside. That's the worst thing you can do. So that's it. We're going to move over the sausage out of the way and move that bacon over a little bit and continue cooking that. And that's looking good. Just about done there. And then we're going to add our tomatoes and our onions. So again, same thing here. Just going to saute these onions up. It's not going to take too long. Again, that's why I chose the Roma tomatoes, because they don't get too wet. Salt, pepper, garlic there. And literally, you're just trying to heat these up a little bit. You don't want to cook them too much. But you definitely want to saute those onions to get that flavor on there. All right, bacon's looking good. I think this is ready to move out of the way here. So we get it to the sidelines of our football stadium. If you watch the original video, which has over 300,000 views, by the way, you can check it out there. I make a little football field with that one as well. So same thing over here. Get the other sideline going. Here I cut the heat while we prepare the center. And then in the center is the gridiron. No pun intended. Make sure you get all that good stuff off of that spatula for the omelet. And then next step here is you want to clean up the middle, the field, if you want to call it that. You want to clean that up real good. The worst thing you could do is just leave it the way it is, because that egg will turn dark and nasty looking. You'll see this paper towel here, when I flip it over, it gets pretty dark, just like that. So you really want to actually scrape up whatever you can, and then probably give it a second coat of the water as well, just to make sure you clean it really good. And then once you get it cleaned up, you want to check to make sure that temperature has cooled down. You can see right there it's less than 350, so we turn it back on, and I cut it to about medium low here, just to keep it right around 350. I put down some avocado oil, and the temperature is key here. If it's too hot, those eggs will burn or cook way too fast and they'll get burnt. And if it's too cold or too cool, the eggs won't set up and you'll have eggs going everywhere. So here we have it right around 350, and you want to start at the top of wherever your griddle flows towards, which it should flow towards the back if it's this type of griddle. But you want to make sure you start wherever it flows so you can control it, and then you gently pour it at the top of the hill, we'll say, and then use that spatula to catch the runaways and get them back in the field, and then just continue pouring, and you want to make it like a rectangle shape. And that's it. It's setting up nicely. It's not too hot, not too cool. And just get it shaped up. And then from there, we're going to start adding our ingredients. We're going to start off with our turkey sausage. Here you want to spread it out a little bit. Go all the way to the end. For the most part, leave a couple inches on the end, but spread it out, make it flat. We add our bacon, kind of the same thing. You could see on the original, I kind of dumped everything right in the middle and didn't kind of flatten it out, and it was kind of big. But this one, with more eggs, I have a larger canvas, and I can spread them out a little bit more. So next up is the tomatoes. Same thing. Spread them out. I also use different tomatoes on the first one as well. If you notice, these are not nearly as wet, and so we're not going to have a problem with them dripping through. Once those get set up, then we add our onions. Looking good. Now you can see why we chopped it up pretty small. Because if you can imagine big chunks of onions or big chunks of sausage or whatnot, it's not going to shape up like it should. So you want to get all those scraps there. We are not wasting anything on this cook. And then our cheese. So we put a nice layer on top of all those ingredients. Say about 3 handfuls. And then here's where you got to use the big spatula. Get yourself one if you don't have one. It really comes in handy. And you just want to fold it over. You can see that egg is staying together nicely. It's not ripping like the first video or like the original video. And you can see the color on the bottom is nice, so it's not too hot. It's not burning. And we can fold it up on the ends. And just hold it down for a second, and that cheese will hold it in place wherever it does not want to cooperate. But this one is nicely. And then boom, we got it all folded up like a little package. And then we are going to flip this over nice and easy. Boom! Look at that. That is gorgeous. Look at the color on that. Ooh. It is just perfect. You can see the color looks nothing like an egg white omelet. And we add some more mozzarella on top just to give it a little melty on top. And not too much, just a little bit. And then we're going to cover this. And literally 30 seconds to a minute later, open it up, and it is ready to go. Let's go check it out. Whoo-wee! Ha-ha! All right. I didn't think I was going to get it done, but I got it done again. Second time. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait to taste it. Let's give it a try. I'm going to give you a quick close-up. Look at this beast. I mean, it is huge. This is a large plate, just so you know. And it is just filling up the whole plate. Looks great. Looks fantastic. Cannot wait to give this a try. All right, here we go. I got my fork. This thing is a beast. I'm just going to dig into it. Oh, look at this, man. Stays together nicely, too. Let me tell you. That mozzarella cheese. Oh my God. That is delicious. Look at this thing, man. Hold on. I got to show you this. Show you the inside of this. I mean, look at the steam coming off of that. Beautiful. Mozzarella cheese dripping all over the place. There is no way this is good for you. It is too good. All right, we know it tastes great. Let's go check out the stats. All right, how about that for an updated recipe? Let me tell you, that omelet was awesome. The uncured bacon, that ground turkey sausage, the sauteed onions, the tomatoes, all brought together with that part skim mozzarella cheese. Oh my God, it tasted so good. And remember, that thing was gigantic, so you could easily share that thing. So think about that when we go over these stats here. Now, we know it tastes great. Let's see if it's great for you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, starting off with the saturated fat. The original recipe had 52 grams of saturated fat, mainly from the Jimmy Dean sausage coming in at 21. We swapped that out for the Jenny O ground turkey sausage at 7.5 grams, bringing our total to 19 grams saturated fat in the updated version, or 33 less, 63% less saturated fat. That is awesome. Next up, the sodium. 2,708 milligrams of sodium in the original recipe. We cut that almost in half to 1,418, or 1,290 less milligrams of sodium, 47% less sodium. And then wrapping up with the cholesterol. Remember, the recommended daily allowance for cholesterol is 300 milligrams a day. The original recipe had 952 milligrams of cholesterol, mainly because of the eggs. All of it's in the yolks. By getting rid of some of those yolks and adding more egg whites, we actually brought that cholesterol down to 555, or 397 less milligrams of cholesterol, 41% less cholesterol. And remember, this is a huge omelet that you can split in half easily. So listen, this omelet tasted absolutely phenomenal. So it definitely tastes great. And now we know it's great for you. I would call this an updated recipe. Everybody, thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, and we'll keep on cooking. Big Cat out.